Okay, my next demonstration of binomial expansion. So I want to raise this thing to the fifth, and I don't feel like doing the Pascal's triangle situation. So my first term I know is going to be x to the fifth. For my next term, I know I'm going to have x to the fourth and 2 to the first. But for my coefficient, I'm always going to look back at the previous term. And I'm going to multiply 5 times 1, but then divided by, well, that's the first term, so I divided by 1. For my next term, I know I'm going to have x to the third. I'm going to have 2 to the second. Again, the exponent is going up. But for my coefficient, I'm going to multiply 5 times 4 is 20, but this is my second term, so I'm going to divide it by 2. For my next term, I know I'm going to have x to the second. I'm going to have 2 to the third, but for my coefficient, I'm going to take the product of 10 and 3, which is 30. But then because that's my third term, I'm going to divide that by 3. So I'm left with a 10. For my next term, I'm going to have x to the first, 2 to the fourth. But for the coefficient, I'm going to take 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, but divided by 4. So that gives me 5. And for my last term, I know I'm going to have x to the 0. And in fact, it'll always work out. 1 times 5 is 5, but I'd divide that by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just left with 2 to the fifth. So now I can just go back and clean this up. I have x to the fifth. Let's see, this is going to give me 10 x to the fourth. That's a 4, so I have 40 x to the third. Then I have, this is 8 times 10 is 80 x squared. 5, this 2 to the fourth is 16, and 5 times 16 is another 80. And finally, 2 to the fifth is 32. So without too much effort, there I have x plus 2 to the fifth.